Hello, friends. Welcome to another edition of the ice part of the Bro Roadshow. The Bro Roadshow is something I've been doing for over 2 decades and used to come see people in person. Now we don't need to. We've got a podcast that goes through the airwaves. But anyway, tonight's going to be a great show. We are really making ice. It's cold out there, 1 degree where I live in northern Minnesota, and windy, probably even colder up by Red Lake right now. We started out, everything was wide open Friday and Saturday, and now everything froze up and it's making ice at an extreme rate. I want to thank, before I go any farther, Chesterburg Toyota for being an on air sponsor. And what a great place. Beautiful showroom. Uh, Toyotas, they're gold. Check out Chesterburg Toyota. Stop by, make a plan, come visit, buy a car, or drop yours off for maintenance, or even get body work done. Stop in there. It's a state of the art showroom, and Brian Martinka and the gang, say hi to them. They really got a cool spot, and thanks for sponsoring us. And then also Timberline Sports in Black Duck. You know that place on your way to Red Lake. If you're going to Lake of the Woods, Timberline Sports, stop in, buy some bait, get some sage advice, get a pizza, get buy a gun, buy ammo. The place is stocked to the ceiling. Great place to say hi to Carl and John and the gang when you're there, and they will take care of you. Timberline Sports and Black Duck. And without any further ado, I'm bringing on Ryan Klein, owner of JR's on Upper Red, for the scoop right now. And he probably has a scoop of bait somewhere. How's it going, Ryan?
Great, great.
Thanks for joining me. You're a really busy dude.
Yeah, this time of the year, it's go time. Everybody's up here. Everybody wants to get on the early ice, and shaping up really good this year. It'll
That's
be a
that's
busy,
fantastic.
busy weekend on red. I guarantee it.
I imagine. And how much ice do you have right now?
Today on the 7 inches, I would say is the most consistent.
Wow.
All the way up to 8. Some of the last little pockets to freeze were sitting at 6, 6.5, but they're pretty small areas.
Oh, that's great. And you've got a stake trail. So here's the beauty of it. They just go pay your access fee and you've done all the work. They don't have to drill a hole. They just go to the stake trail and go where they want to.
Yeah, yeah. If you stick to the stakes, that's checked really good, and then from there, then we ask. Tomorrow we're going to start letting ATVs out. So you stick to the stake trail, you're fine.
ATVs already. That's crazy.
Yep, ATVs tomorrow morning, and it'll be side by sides right after that. It just kind of every day it steps up a little more, and
What a difference. You got to be below zero up at Red right now.
yeah,
It's
I,
1 degree
I
in
I think
max.
we got up to 6 degrees today, but it was making ice all day, and I
And
think
had some hardy souls coming out there, you said today.
oh yeah, and the wind was blowing, so I didn't expect too many to show up on her today, but there was still probably 30 groups out there, and the fishing was pretty good for right off the bat. The water's definitely cloudy, but
Hmm.
they were catching fish. Most of the guys I brought in said if they marked the fish, it bit. So
That's awesome. That's what I love about Red. Red is just a factory, and you got great access because in your area, there's a lot of boulders and rocks and all kinds of structure, isn't there?
yeah, yep. We got a really rocky shore, good boulders. We staked a trail to the rock pile today, and that's a really hot area, early ice. So tomorrow, that's where most of the traffic will go tomorrow. And then it's 3/4 of a mile for us to hit the mud. So
Oh, okay.
it's really easy to get to the mud, but the mud report, was a little slow today. 12 inches were out there, they said. So the nicer fish are still in the rocks, in the gravel.
Oh, perfect. Just like a fall type of deal. And so you have house rentals. How many houses do you have?
Yeah, we run 40 houses between 4-mans and 6-person houses on the
Wow.
lake. Right now, they're just on the shoreline.
Sure.
They'll probably be there till Monday. I'd say Monday or Tuesday, the houses will start being pulled out by ATVs,
That's
and then
fantastic.
the
And
season really gets going.
well, and you rent them on the shore also, don't you?
Yep, yep. Right now, guys are sleeping in them right now on the shore. You know,
Perfect. Well, that's and it's nice because it is remote. I mean, when you're up at Red, it's all wilderness around there, and it's not like you're driving into a big city. You're driving into a small town resort
Yeah.
community. That's
Yeah.
really cool. And you have bait, I would imagine, on site.
Yep. We have bait. We always have fatheads and rainbows, but we keep in stock at all times. Um, we have a full bar, full grill, showers, restrooms. We get with propane. We kind of need everything up there because you're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so you got everything in, and there's good house parking. So people, if they bring their house, you got places for them to park.
Yeah, right now we got the back lot, and we got plenty of parking. If you show up, you can just take your house back there and camp. And it's this weekend will be really busy. It's a good time. Guys hang out, do their thing. Everybody kind of breaks in their ice castle. Make sure everything's working before it goes out on the lake.
That sounds great. And so far this year, the lake's pretty calm. No ridges or anything.
Yeah, it it froze up kind of in a little chop, but it's some of the smoothest ice I've seen in years. And today we got a satellite image, and the whole thing was buttoned up, so
that's
shouldn't
fantastic.
be anything moving anymore. It's yeah, I'd say every resort's opening tomorrow now up there. It looks like the last time I checked. So
That's great. And so, if people catch fish, can they bring them? Do they bring them in, or do you offer that? Or
yep, we
oh,
got an indoor cleaning facility, and then we do you clean it, we cook it.
that's man,
Yeah.
you can't beat that. Right at the lake,
Oh,
instead of
everybody does it. It's very popular. There's a line out the door for people trying to get in there.
oh, that's fantastic. This is
Yeah.
great. And when people are looking for you, so you're right before Washkish. You take a left
Yep.
before they just
Yep.
give an
County
idea.
Road 23.
County
So
Road
we're
20.
halfway between Kelly and Washkish. We're on the South Shore. We're all the way to we're the last resort on the end on the 90-degree corner. Yep.
So you're the last resort, and if they drive any farther, they're not in a good place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Just remember, don't go past this place.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. But that's some really good fishing. I mean, Red Lake's phenomenal. But let me ask you. Everybody wants to know, and maybe it's not the time of year. What about them big slab crappies?
Yeah. Them show. I'd say February. That's when we see them on our end of the lake, anyways.
They get active.
Yeah, it seems like the east side, maybe a couple weeks earlier than us, but then February is when we see them. They get pretty active. They school up anyways. Otherwise, prior to that, it's them onesie twosies.
Sure.
But come February, when they school in February, yeah, it's good fishing then.
That's great. And then also Red Lake is known for big pike. Are you still seeing some of them giants?
Yeah, we're still seeing the pictures. People are still bringing them in every year. 3 years in a row now, I've seen sturgeon.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, there's been some sturgeon coming in, and they're right around 40 inches is what everybody's told me.
That's fantastic.
Starting to see some of them too now. A lot of goldeneye the last year, yeah.
That's mainly a food source for the walleyes. And the goldeneye, that's just something you just toss back, right?
Yeah, most guys, yeah, I would say.
Okay, that's great. And any whitefish? There used to be whitefish.
Yeah, someone just asked yesterday about it, and I said I have not seen them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I remember in the old days there was tons of whitefish, but that's a odd critter. That's cyclical,
Yeah, yeah. I remember in the early 2000s we've seen a lot of them.
That's fantastic. So definitely ice is on. Everybody should get ready. You're open today.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the four-wheelers and side-by-sides. Everything's in very fast progression right now because of the temps.
Yeah, the temps, no snow on the lake. It's bare ice, so it's pounding down ice every day. I've been seeing an inch to an inch and a half every day. Ice game.
Fantastic. And there's going to be people coming from all over the place.
Yep.
So if they want to rent a house or make a booking with you, would you like them to do email or call you?
Yeah, call our number. JR's Corner Access. You can find us anywhere. Best place is Facebook. We update one to three times a day.
Oh, good.
We really pump the Facebook because everybody that answers everybody's questions really fast. And you know how it is this time of the year; things change just so fast. But everybody has Facebook, and everybody seems to just
That's the way to go.
word spreads really fast for Facebook. So.
Well, that's great. And so people are catching walleyes. It's going. You've got about 7 inches up there.
Yep.
JR's on Red Lake right here. Thanks, Ryan, for coming down. Appreciate it. He's a busy guy. We'll let you go, but definitely go up there and check out JR's. They'll send you in the right direction. So thanks for coming out tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot, bro. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody, next up, we have Nick Cox. He's the president of Razor Augers, but he is also a hardcore ice fisherman. This guy ice fishes more than any other company president that I know, and he loves drilling holes when he's with me. I just say that I better drill some, otherwise he might not come in anymore. But anyway, so bring on Nick.
I'm spending a lot of time working. Those aren't fishing trips. Those are work trips, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Get me in
Yeah, we
trouble.
are working.
I'm the president. I still answer to somebody, though.
Yeah, well, the thing is, everybody wants a Razor auger because they got power tools in the garage, the right ones that work for it, and all they got to do is get the bit and go out the door. And that's one thing I want to talk about a little bit. And you got different ones, and it's the St. Paul Ice Show. You're going to be heading down there, setting up tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, heading out there, setting up. We got we got Shane DuBois from Recon Angling.
Awesome.
Close buddy of ours. He's flying in from Wyoming. I got to pick him up at the airport around noon. And then Friday, the doors open at the show and go through Sunday. So we hope to see everybody there. It's always an exciting time of the year and a good kickoff. This year, especially a good kickoff. Although the timing, usually I'm not having to fight in my head about wanting to be out there on the lake and also at the St. Paul show.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm going to be there also, but there's people up at Red right now. They fished all day, and now they're eating their fish, and they're going to their camper. They're going to their castles or whatever, and we're going to like the city.
Yeah. Well, I know if I look at you and you're kind of staring off into space or doing anything like this, you're physically there.
Yeah.
But I know you're not there.
Well, I am one of those people. I love hearing people's fishing stories because there's some people who have had incredible experiences. And before we go any farther, I just want to tell people Nick has an announcement tonight. You got an announcement for us, Nick?
Yeah, so we are going to give away our flagship 8-inch synthetic ultra tonight, awesome. Which is the auger of choice for the full season. Usually if you're out fishing with bro, so it's a $200 plus auger. We'll ship it to your door for free. We'll pick a winner tonight. All you got to do is like, comment, share, ask questions, and
fantastic. Also, we have a Northland Bros Ice Kit prize pack here, and there's a little bit of everything in here. So this is like a major deal. You got style with the hat. You've got tungsten lures. You got twitching puppets. You've got the new forage spoon, which is tungsten concave, tumbles really nice. You even got panfish baits, the mud bug, and stuff like that. But I want to thank Jason Charlie Peterson for throwing this together over at Northland GSM, and very nice of those guys to do that. Great stuff, and we all love Northland Tackle. We always have, actually. And so like, comment, and share. And if you want to ask a question, go ahead. I want to do a shout out real quick before I forget to Beta Knock. I had a fellow, I can't find his email. He's sent me pictures of his fish house he just built, and it's really cool. It is your own style when you build these things, and he was all set for ice. And So hope you guys will be getting out on bait and ox soon. There's some giant walleyes up there. We got some quick questions here. Is there a 10-inch razor? I'll let you answer that.
So we've stepped away from our lithium auger platform. So, you hear so much about 24 volt and 40 volt augers traditionally. Those were the augers that we were powering our 10-inch bits with. So no, we no longer at this time offer a 10-inch unit, but the future is in the eye of the beholder. And I do see some stuff coming down the pipe that people will be really excited about. Not this year, but stick with us. But one thing that Bro always does is you can always make the peanut.
So, I've been doing it right now. When I was out there, the Mega Live, actually, Mega Live 2, is a little bit bigger, and it doesn't. If it turns or something, you're going to be stuck in the ice. So I do a peanut, and I got to say, when you're drilling a peanut or a figure eight, the razor's the best auger I've ever used. It doesn't jump around because it's got wings on it, and I want to show you what I'm talking about here real quick. I have it on my phone, and the peanut hole is, I only take like 1,000 pictures.
It's kind of like a 2 overlapping holes. So you basically, if you've got a 6-inch auger, you can put 2 overlapping holes together, and then you could use like a Mega Live or something
so
like that.
when you overlap the hole, so the auger's hanging over the other hole. This is a 6-inch bit, and I'm drilling down. It drills it perfect, and there's not another auger that does that. They jump around. I've tried umpteen thing. Is umpteen a word anymore? I don't know if that's
You've made it a word.
Okay, it's a word now. So I drilled a peanut with the 6-inch, but with that 8-inch, fits perfect. And you could drill peanut with an 8-inch if you're gonna fish for sturgeon or whatever. So they're just amazing, and there's a reason we all love it. Somebody want to know where can they get a razor auger? So I'll let you handle that because I don't know everybody.
Yeah, you can go to razoriceaugers.com or razorpower.com, just on your screen right there, RAZRPOWR. And if you click our locations link, you'll be able to pull up a map, plug your zip code in. We've got over 110 dealers loaded in there right now. We're adding a couple daily right now. So those will be updated. If you don't have a dealer in your area, you can Google Razor Ice Augers, the model you're looking for. We've got a ton of dealers with great online presence and also potentially their own deals and discounts going. If you want to come directly through us, we'd be glad to ship you an auger. Go ahead and make an order at razorpower.com.
And I mean, people are really receptive tonight because they want to razor some holes, I think, Nick. So
I know, it's you can't have these conversations in July, right?
No,
you gotta have them right when the ice is there, and then now people are clamoring to razor in. So
then you got to razor on in. So how many different razor models in diameters?
Oh, so we offer, we're a unique company in that, we don't offer a 10-inch right now. We offer a 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8-inch. We in metal augers that are built for your brushless drill in our Razor Scout platform. And then we also offer the synthetic light and the synthetic ultra, which are our lightweight units, which, the metal flighting is replaced by these composite pieces here, and that sheds over a third of the weight when compared to, an apples to apples comparison to another 8-inch auger that's steel, or a 5-inch auger that's steel, etc. So,
and how many holes can you cut before you have to replace the blades? Everybody, these questions are great.
That's subjective. We've got the only time you need to replace your blades on a razor auger, we're not going to tell you need to do this once a year. Save your money. If you have to start pushing down on the auger and laboring to get the auger through the ice, that is not the experience that you signed up for with us, and that's not the experience we're giving you. It usually always comes down to blades. Mm-hmm. So, you get a couple seasons out of a set of blades. I always like to have a spare set with me. You never know if you're going to hit dirt or debris or a stump or something. Everything freezes in the water column. So it doesn't matter, if you hit something and you can't drill, you can just swap those out. It's just an 8mm wrench, and, be very careful. But when you buy a set of blades from Razor, it comes with all new hardware, new lock washers, new bolts, and everything like that. So you get the auger doesn't cut well unless the blades are sharp.
That's fantastic. Well, and so we had a couple more questions, and then we're going to get into the fishing side of it. But so, what size drill and amp is required, and then what is the most popular size drill you sell?
Well, bro, you can speak to this too. This year, this is the 6th, going on 7th year for this Milwaukee 2804 drill. And I bought it in a kit. It came with 2 batteries. It came with an impact drill, just for running screws or whatever, and decks. But this thing's about 6-7 years old. I love it. I've never had a problem. I love the handle. I love the size of it. I love the variety of different batteries I can get, a 12 amp hour, 5 amp hour. You can go anything in between. Bro loves his DeWalt. He loves the way the handle secures to it. It's super important when you're running a brushless drill auger to always have 2-handed operation.
Well, and on that one, you could see it's pinching a little tiny piece of metal on top, and if something goes wrong, if you let someone use it, and that's how mine broke, they don't always drill the way they're supposed to. I never break it, but they do. And then once that happens, it never goes on quite the same. So I like how it locks on the DeWalt. But okay, Milwaukee, don't worry, because I bought some furniture at your corporation. I got Milwaukee all over in my garage. I got DeWalt, but I like the handle for ice fishing. I know you didn't design it for ice, but let's get this handle. Take a look at DeWalt and do that, because I like how the Milwaukee drills at the bottom of the hole when the augers used to stick more. Different brands. Now with Razor in the wings, it just goes right through. So smooth. I had someone actually leaning a little bit. They almost went down to the ice. They almost fell over because it went through so easy. They couldn't believe it, because they're drilling with some other brand that's so dull. But I could tell you, Nick, I always bring extra blades. You get out west, Dakotas,
Blades and batteries.
Farm country blowing all over.
Yeah, I mean, these aren't live sonar units that get the luxury of having a amped outdoors battery that's going to allow you to run your Mega Live for the next 2 days. You're using these things, they take power, so it's a good idea just to have a couple extra batteries. It doesn't matter what type of auger platform you're on. If you're running an electric auger, it's important.
That's really important, and I actually keep all of my batteries for both brands in. I have this Sunline soft box that you're supposed to put spools of line in. Well, I put the batteries in there because they're warm. It keeps them warm, and that's it, all separate and warm. I got a whole thing of batteries, and so if I do lose it, I'll just get rid of them all at once, right? If I do drop that thing, but and people are asking about extensions. You have extensions they can get, and we used extensions last year. I had that thing way up here, and functionally it was fantastic.
It was as tall as you.
It was
a little awkward watching you drill with it at first, but I mean, when the ice is thick, I mean, we're not complaining.
Yeah, and actually, if you looked back, I looked like I was a baby next to an auger, didn't I? Reaching up for it.
Yeah. But by the time you hit the top of that auger, the top of the auger that I just had, and I set it down, so I don't want to leave the screen again, but that auger is 42 inches tall, and the ice was over the top of that. Bro had a 20-inch extension on his DeWalt, and just threw smooth, easy. And I don't remember if we found the crappies that day or not, but that's besides the point. I was just kind of like, I was loving life watching it, because nobody thinks thinks that the drills are capable of doing this. I hear it every day. Yeah, I'll stick with my gas auger. I mean, don't knock it till you try it.
Well, and so maintenance. What form of maintenance would you do? For the auger itself, the flighting and auger, and then what would you do with the drill?
I mean, for the auger itself, there's very little maintenance that needs to be done. Blades are really the only thing that you have to pay attention to. It's important before you go out on your first ice trip, or before you go out, if you're cruising across the lake on an ATV, make sure your collar bolts are tightened up. Make sure things are tightened up, because things do get loose from rattling around. It's just, that's how friction works on screws and bolts, and you got to tighten that stuff up. But if you were to break a flute on our auger, they're replaceable. In fact, we include one in every box should you need to replace one and you run one over with your ATV, or you're looking at the steaks on the grill and drilling a hole at the same time, and you're at a 45-degree, you break something, you've got extra stuff in the box. But we do cover these things for 3 years, and
I love it
we've got all the
because
parts.
I keep the stuff in. It comes with spare tools. I keep all that on the back of my sled, and when we're running and gunning and we're in some rough territory, like crossing rough ice, I keep an extra auger, but I break them down. And all those people chasing lake trout, up north, across the border there, and all those great lake trout lakes, they break their augers down. They take the screw out, they put the drill and the auger inside whatever they have in the back of their sled. I got a roto-molded thing, but some of them have narrow ones because they can't fit through the brush. But they actually put the flighting in and the head, and they have nothing on the outside. Then they put it together when they get there. But can you sharpen blades?
Yeah, we're one of the only companies out there that certainly has no issue with you sharpening your blades. You aren't going to be able to just go into your garage and grab a file and sharpen our blades, though. I mean, you have to reach out and do some research to find the individuals that have the correct jig to sharpen a curved blade. By the time you go through all that, taking the blades off, finding the couple guys across the country that can sharpen these things, or strike master blades, and you send them off, you get them back. Our blades, it's not a cash cow operation for us. Our blades are very affordable. By the time you get done doing the whole sharpening bit, and you're probably at the cost of a new set of blades anyways. So oftentimes there's promos at some of our shows. So if you buy a Razor auger from certain dealers at, let's say, the St. Paul or Wisconsin Ice Show, or the Duluth show through Marine General, there's a good chance that you might get an extra set of blades upon the purchase of your auger. So it comes with blades on the auger, but then we give you a package of new blades, so you're set. You don't have to talk to us for a couple of years. Even though we want to talk to you, there's better things you could be doing.
We're going to do a little bit more auger. Then I remember the fish tips. I didn't forget about you, but we want to keep it coherent here. And before we go any farther, because the time is flying here, I want to do a big shout out to Fish Monkey, because a lot of people don't realize the hats they have. They got the woolly heads and they got the beanies, but you can fold them over like this. Or if you want to be a hipster, you could definitely have a beanie that looks like that. These are super warm. They're wool. They're made in America, and they have socks. And these are the warmest socks. Unbelievable. If you get cold feet, cold toes, and that kind of stuff, you want these socks. They're so warm. Wow, they're soft too. And then, of course, they have Yeti gloves you hear about all the time. Love these when I'm running and gunning. You can keep a hand warmer in there. And so remember, Fish Monkey, it's a whole system. From your feet to your hands to your head, you stay warm and you never get cold. And that's why I use Fish Monkey. And Nick, you're no stranger to Fish Monkey.
No, I love them. I got the mittens. I got the gloves. I love that, they've got the little windshield wiper on there. When you're cruising across the lake, you can take your pointer finger, and it's got little squeegees for your glasses. Got little, you start dripping from the nose, you get a little snot rag on there. I mean, my wife doesn't like looking at them very often, but
yeah,
that's very comfortable.
It is. It is that squeegee and stuff, and I don't even know I'm using that nose wipe thing on there, but it's better to do that, because if you ever talk to someone on the ice that's got the icicle coming down, it's kind of gross, man.
Yeah, but you know what? We're not judging. We appreciate. We like that we're all out there.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, if you look at their catalog, it's incredible, and their wool products are made in America. They've got the face and skin protection in open water with PCV grip. He's thought of it. Super, super, super intelligent guy. Tim Mossberg, the owner, met him. The guy is intense, and it's all about comfort and fishing and hunting. He's got Hunt Monkey, Fish Monkey. Don't forget about him. Check it out. And so there's some. The questions are coming on quick. is there any kind of storage bag or something for the to protect the auger? And then what do you take the blades off at the end of the season? I don't.
No, I don't ever take my blades off. I'll disconnect the auger from the drill because I'm using the drill year round, which is, nice. Unlike a power head, you've got to kind of find a whole spot for the whole thing. But I'm using the drills year round, so those come with me and travel with me. Maybe a little bit of oil on the blades if you're gonna, keep them. Depending on where you're keeping them, I keep mine in my garage, which is pretty well climate controlled. I don't have any issues with anything, so. No, not a lot of maintenance, not a lot of things you need to do. Just, once you put it away, make sure you have a box of Kleenex because you're going to shed some tears, and then, just know you'll be able to use it again.
Well, and someone asked, I got to mention too, go to fishmonkey.com, or you could find them at a lot of your sporting goods, your hardcore stores do have them. Timberline has Fish Monkey stuff. They have so much traffic there if they're not sold out. But if stop and get it at Timberline, or check any major sporting goods along the way, they will have Fish Monkey. If they know anything about anything, they'll have Fish Monkey. But as far as auger storage on a ATV, a sled, one of the coolest things I've run into is this locking uh, uh, grips, and I can't remember what it was, but I actually paid for it.
Jaws of Ice.
Jaws of Ice, yeah, and they're owned by uh, a different, not a
Weeder's
fishing,
Digest.
Weeder's Digest, yeah. So that locks in, and you pull the pin, it drops down. Really good. I mean, if you're going to be in bush country, going to Canadian Shield Lakes, and there's a lot of brush and narrow trails, you might want to make your own and have it on top of your box in the back. But I use the Jaws of Ice. Love them. I mean, I have it on the sled in front, but if I get in the narrow trails, it does not work to have it sideways. Just make sure you lock them. We've seen some major like Halloween movie stuff with augers flying off of stuff on front. Be really careful. That front thing better be locked or have it behind you. I've seen augers flipping by the sled. Not me, but I've had to yell for people to stop. The auger's just missing them. So make sure it's locked down. It's a blade. I mean, you know, don't let that thing go flying around by your head. And then they were wondering about weight. I think we already went through the weight, but the lightest auger you have is the ultralight.
Yeah, the lightest. I'm just responding to that comment right now. I'm actually typing it, but the 8-inch. I saw how much is the 8-inch metal auger. That's about 7 pounds. That's the Razor Scout model.
Mm-hmm.
That's an auger that you can adjust from 31 inches to 42 inches, so it's adjustable. So depending on ice thickness, your height, whether you're going across on a machine. One thing I've seen Bro do that's cool with that is he'll take our Scout models or our light models and collapse them all the way down to 31 inches, and he'll zip across the lake on his machine, his sled, and he'll just sit there and he'll kind of just go from one side over the next, drill the hole, sitting down, drop his deucer, kick the cone over because he's sneaky like that, and then you just keep going, trying to find fish. So but the lightest auger we have is our 6-inch light. That's about 4 pounds.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And as far as we're getting a lot of auger questions, but also Fish Monkey cleaning guidelines for wool gloves. Well, just don't, if when you get stuff in there, you don't want to rub it out of there. Just wash them and dry them without any machinery. So you just squeeze it out. So if you're dealing with gas and oil, well, you better get some dish soap. But the gloves are super resilient, and I call my stinky pair. I use the woolly gloves to touch fish, and so they can be frozen in your hands or still warm. That's the beauty of the properties of wool. And so guidelines just make sure to lukewarm water and then maybe some dish soap and then squish it out, or some no scented soap. And then we're getting into some other stuff here. Before we go any farther, though, I want to mention one thing real quick. Amped Outdoors is going to be at the St. Paul Ice Show. Stop in there. They got these monster batteries. 32 amp hour. They weigh nothing compared to what we used to have, and they have even bigger 52 amp hour 12-volt batteries. But that's not just it. I've actually just got in the mail. I got the Fish Armor Pro Light, and this is really cool thing. I got to show. I just got this. That's why I'm glad I have it here for the show. That was a huge hit last week. Taking stuff off your boat and putting it on here. This thing is very intuitive. Inside, it's got wires that you pop open. You stick the end in and clip it, and it's done. It's such an easy deal. So that's what it looks like without a graph. Fish Armor. They're going to be at the show. I have a feeling this one's going to sell out, so you guys better hurry. That thing's absolutely insane, and it's so light. So I decided to see how light I can make a graph. So I put one together, and I put an Humminbird Explorer 9 on there. So, I'm right by the computer. If I back up, this thing is so light, and the Pro Pole, it's unbelievable. But I put a 12-volt 15 amp hour battery in here, and that'll last. It's not about putting a super huge battery in there, but I think that looks really good. Look at that thing.
Yeah, and what's cool, bro, is the new one the first one that you just held up. That one's their lightest weight one yet. So that one, the black one is, I think, what, 4.8 pounds?
Yep, this is the same. I got a gray one and a black
one.
one.
Oh, nice. Oh, I didn't even recognize that. I thought they had them only in black. That's great.
Well, and then also it tells you your battery voltage on this side right here, right on the plug-in where you plug in your iPhone or something. Nice. But when you compare from all the different sizes down to this, small battery, small screen, great for running around. So if you're not going to be on the lake, if you're going out for an evening or just even a full day, it depends on how you use it. If you have it on bright, that smaller battery is awesome. But it'll take any size battery. So there it is without the unit. And you can put a 10, 12, whatever you want on there. I just want a light one when I'm cruising around on foot now. And then I'll have my other main one will be a 10. So that's a 9. And then I'll have a 10 because I used to have the big screens. Oh, so much fun. Big screen. That's more of a boat thing. If you got to carry that thing. Another nice thing that they did is they put that handle forward so it doesn't tip. So pretty cool. Fish Armor. Just got them. And so I whipped that one together. And so we have a lot of questions we got to catch up. And so people love the Razor, and you're gonna sell every auger you got because there's no comparison to anything out there. And people don't want to buy an auger with an auger head. In the summertime, what are they going to do with it? It's just in a way.
Yeah.
You take your drill bit off yours and put it somewhere light, and then you use the drill all summer.
It's like anything, times are changing. The technology in the drills is far superior to anything that, as an auger manufacturer, I can tell you 100% no auger company makes the motors, makes the batteries, the Milwaukee's, DeWalt's of the world. Even the Harbor Freight brands and the Home Depot Rigid brands, they're all so great. So, buy what you can afford.
Yep. That's really smart. And so let's get into this. I know, and then we'll backtrack to the panfish walleye stuff, but what's your favorite reel? I got to tell you, I like 7. So 7 has a line of reels, and 7 is a St. Croix product. So you got to check it out. Their bearings are absolutely amazing. And this is a St. Croix custom ice. I actually took, when you buy a panfish combo, or if you get the Premier, they have their own reels, but the GS 750, 7 SEVIIN 7 GS 750 is phenomenal. But if you get their panfish combo, this is the reel from it. I kind of robbed them for my custom ice, and but you better check out 7 reels and get that GS. It's just amazing. You'll love it, and then remember, light line. You're not pulling fish out of brush. or hydrilla, you're just pulling them straight up to the ice. If you're over in Devil's Lake fishing, willows, on the edge of a road or on the edge of a swamp that's flooded, you got to have heavier line, and those fish don't care. You can just reef them up. But everywhere else, you could take your time, and you get more bites on light line everywhere you go. But so we had that question, Nick, and I know you fish crappies. I mean, you you got crappie spots right by your house. They want some tips on crappies, uh, how to catch fish or what to do. And what I honestly, I'll throw it over to you. But the thing is, right now there's weed fish and then there's basin fish,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of in northern Minnesota. It's probably leaning towards 70, maybe even 80% of the lakes are basin oriented. And where you fish them, they're in the big sprawling lake you have nearby you. Is that a weed or basin bite?
Both. I mean, daytime, you can get on a good weed bite. And then low light periods, evening time, it's all basin. I mean, there's 26 different bays on the lake that I'm around, which is Lake Minnetonka, and nearly every one of those bays, which are connected by different channels and whatnot, they all have basins. So there are certain basins in part of the main lake that I've never seen a fish for 15 years. I've always thought that looks so juicy. I'm going to go scan it out. I'm going to go, and I just never see fish. But, there's down in the Twin Cities, there's a lot of crowds. So you can't really there's no real secret spots. You can stay mobile and move with fish, but everything's been fished before. And you can get a mix of weeds or basin. I love basin fishing. I love going out after dinner, fishing for 3, 4, 5 hours. And it just seems as the later you go on in the evening down in the Twin Cities, metro area lakes, you get these, you get big schools coming in, but then you get these high flyers, just these single roaming fish, and usually up 7, 8 feet higher than the rest of the school. Those are the ones I kind of get excited about, because that's an opportunity at a 14, 15 inch metro fish, which, if somebody catches those down here, I mean, honestly, they just end up on the ice or in the bucket. People take those home, and I never do that. I just enjoy the thrill of the catch, right?
Well, yeah, in this area we got quite a rejuvenation of 10 to 11s. We're in northern Minnesota. Do we have those big ones? We do, but we get a lot more pressure than people think on crappies up here. So there's a lot of 10s and 11s, and there's some 12s and 13s, and every now and then there's a 14, 15, but it's mostly the lower range to the medium, and which is fine. But that tungsten crappie king is really a good one. I love that for crappies. And of course, if you get crappies, even if they're 10 inches, they'll take that little thumper spoon, and this thing's so small it's hard to hang on to, but right there it's got that little flicker blade, that with a wax worm or a couple spikes, maggots. Pink and white's always been a crappie color, and the other awesome color, and I don't know, does anybody use it? I love metallics, like silver for crappies in an open basin, just kills them, and that's a tungsten slim spoon. And there's just a few things, the gill getter, the mud bug, and in glow colors, super good for crappies. But find out if they're in the basin or the weeds, and your local shops like Timberline Sports knows where to send you for crappies when you come up there. Are they going to send you to where their house is sitting? You never know. They like everybody.
They could.
Yeah, but then walleyes. What kind of spoons for walleyes? Basically, just sizing it up a little bit, and the only difference, like here I've got Wonder Bread is a color in this neck of the woods, and this is a tungsten buckshot. These are they're so heavy. It's unbelievable how heavy they are for their size. But colors like this for Red Lake, pink and that kind of gold, that's a Lake of the Woods Red Lake color, and that's in a tungsten buckshot. They have them in slim spoons and thumper spoons in that color, and everything up here for walleyes, gold or perch. There's a perch in the tungsten spoon, and then we're breezing through here a little bit, and then of course metallics that look like perch. So there's a walleye, a thumper spoon for walleyes, and it's upside down, but you can see it's perch pattern.
What are you using primarily? Like, if you're looking at, and I see some of these questions here too, but like if you're looking at, the best type of setup for in the weeds or in the basin, I would say personally, if I'm going to be in the basin, I'm going to drop a spoon, just something a little heavier, a little flashier, get down a little quicker. If I'm in the weeds, I might not be fishing that spoon or be so aggressive with my presentation. Bro, what would you say?
Well, right now, it depends on where you're fishing. There's a lot of different water clarities and qualities between where you're at and where I'm at here. We're gin clear. Late in the season, literally 8-9 days ago, I was in the boat and the fish were leaving at 80 feet away. So on the ice, remember that if there's nothing for them to tuck and hide in, you're just chasing them away. Don't make so much noise. Drill some holes, come back to them. If you're on a big lake with a lot of people, they'll probably take your holes. So don't drill too many, and maybe, leave someone that, that that's you're mad at those holes all day and while you're out chasing and doing other stuff because they ain't going to catch anything. But early ice, if there's some weeds, if there's some rocks, logs, there's a lot of logs up here, more than people think. And they're going to be near those areas, holding to the bottom like ghosts. But you're going to see them swim through. So how do you drill over them? If you drill a hole over walleye and Cass Lake, and you got forward viewing, you got what I have, the Explorer, you could watch that walleye literally swim away until he's gone and he never comes back. So that's my experience out there. If you go there in the dark, then they're not afraid. But you got to find weeds if you don't have in my neck of the woods. And if you're fishing lakes like Gull or Mille Lacs near Brainerd, it's also weeds, but steep breaks and that kind of stuff. So,
but you know what? All the fun fish are in the weeds too.
Yes,
all the fun fish are in the weeds. How many bonus fish that you're not out there trying to catch? I mean, specifically, you and I in the weeds have we caught? I mean, bass, big pike, dogfish, crappies, perch, everything swimming in there, walleyes.
Yes.
So
well, that the go-to jig for panfish, I just showed that it was a crappie king, the gill getter, the mud bug, and then I love using spoons. But for walleyes and panfish in a metro area, what would you use as far as would a thumper spoon or what would you use?
I mean, like it all depends again too. Like if I'm going for a basin bite, unless they're really asking for downsized presentation and everything like that, I've got a spoon on 90% of the time. It's confidence bait for me. It's comfortable. I can get it down there. I know I can catch these fish sometimes without even any bait on them,
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm in the weeds, I'm the opposite. I like to just throw on a little plastic and a small tungsten jig. And, you don't have as much time when you're watching them on live to react in shallow water and things like that. So, less commotion on my screen is better for me.
I catch a lot of fish, and I fished all over the place, even all the way down to Big Stone and even Tonka and Metro Lakes. But when I'm in the open areas, I like to use the twitch and puppet. These things, they can't keep them in stock. They move with the lightest bit of a twitch, but they have these small sizes. I got to show you this one. That one, absolutely, the perch just destroyed that last year, and our perch population is doing really well. That and Mille Lacs would clean the lake out right there. This little twitching puppet. I mean, these things are micro, but you think that something pointy would dart. This darts better, and no front hook to hook on the ice. But that's the stuff. Those twitching puppets are phenomenal, and so that's kind of everything. Oh, okay. So now we got what's the best walleye lake in Minnesota? Well, it's pretty hard to beat Red or Lake of the Woods. Lake of the Woods has giants, but they're factories. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going on my One Boat Network. Should we take a look?
Yeah, that one. Well, and so as far as Minnesota, I mean, there's times when Traverse down by the border is super hot, and that's a big lake. It could hold its own. Minnewaska, otter tail, big pine. These are gigantic lakes. And then up here, Red, Lake of the Woods, the border waters, Rainy, not so much. Cabotogama, maybe. But up there, that gets sleepy unless you're on the Canadian side. But Red Lake is super good. And then Winnie, Lake
Winnie,
Winnipegosh,
Beach.
that's terrible. I wouldn't go to Winnie because you might bump into me out there. Well, and then Leech Lake. How can you beat the basin of Leech Lake? Except now with this clear water, you're probably drilling in it. They're going Cass Lake on you. They keep going. You think they're going to turn around. They just go to the other side of the lake.
Those perch are headed to Lake Mille Lacs.
Yeah. Well, and so I had Carl on and we were talking about how awesome the perch fishing is across the state right now. You still have to be stealthy on those gin clear lakes that don't have the weeds. Lakes that have weeds mean lakes with no crayfish. They have original crayfish, but rusties eat all the weeds out of a lake, and mainly cabbage. So you got these tundras like somebody dropped a bomb. It just looks like wasteland down there. In the spring when you're cruising, you see sandbars and depressions, and it is depressing. It looks like the Sahara Desert.
Like
But you get
somebody was fishing with dynamite.
yeah, it looks like, but so definitely make sure you got some good structure. And then line I like using this as an example. 1 pound as a good example, but Sunline FC ice is super high quality. There's some Sunline in other packages, but this is their highest quality, and you can order that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pound test. And remember, we're not casting. You want fluorocarbon because it has the best sink rate. So always get the best sink rate. If you want one line to spool all your reels, get Sniper. Sunline Sniper.
FC.
Yep, FC Sniper, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pound. And you could use it in open water. Use the same reels for crappie. So that's the one I use. And if you can't find it, it seems like it's like almost like liquor. Like some liquors aren't sold here. Some liquors are. It's like moonshine or something. But
yeah, but there's some serious shops. I feel like the serious shops.
Hardcore.
They've got the Sunline.
They do, and there's different. Obviously, there's territories where they buy their product through people, groups, distributors. But you can just order it, just get it, and if you can't find it anywhere here, you can find it elsewhere. I know it's out there, but Sunline is the best line. If you got a lot of reels to do, if you're a guide, you want to get Sniper and put a whole bunch. This a little bit more expensive, but this is pure quality line. Let's do let's talk about our giveaways here real quick because we're going through like crazy. And then I just got them. Vados Express maggots. I get red. Oh, I just like the feel of those things crawling in my fingertips. Look at that. I make it look real big, but it's like the size.
I can smell that from here.
Well, every now and then they go on holiday in my fridge and they're all over the place. And then of course I have my Razor Puck. This is Razor's idea, and it's been around. We've seen it in other names. That Razor Puck keeps them from freezing. So great stuff. But let's do the prize giveaway. So Nick, what do you got?
I am giving away a brand new in the box Razor synthetic 8-inch Ultra. So this is our 42-inch model. It's less than 6 pounds, and it'll allow you to drill through up to 36 inches of ice without any added extensions with just a brushless drill. So all you need to get on the ice is a nice brushless drill, and you're ready to go.
And something more than tennis shoes. Now, and Northland Tackle has a Bro Ice kit here. You got to see this. It's amazing. We got an image here of tungsten spoons. So this is going to be part of the giveaway here. Look at that. Not only do you have the twitching puppets and you have the 4-inch spoon, thumper bobber kit, you've got the slim spoon, great sample, and stylish hat. And I want to thank Jason Charlie Peterson for throwing this together. What a great Bros Ice kit. And so and we're going to be giving us away at the end of the show. Are we going to end in exactly 1 hour? We may go a few more minutes, but I know Nick is really busy. We got a couple more questions. Braid or mono, fluorocarbon. It's ice. We're in a deer stand fishing for stuff that's sitting right below us. And fluorocarbon sinks faster than mono. So mono mono away, fluorocarbon, and braid if you're on like those stock ponds called Red Lake or Lake of the Woods, or where the fish just swim up and open their mouth.
Or you
Yeah.
got an iFish Pro set up and you're going after big pike. You might want to have braid there.
Wow, you almost read my mind. I swear.
I know. I was
text him.
I'm feeling it.
We love reeling in fish, and I know tip ups hand over hand. And I've done it for years, but you know what? I'm getting long in the tooth. I want to reel in my fish, and this has a flag, everything you need. iFish Pro. It's lime green, so you don't have wheelers and snowmobiles and dogs running after it and stepping on it and driving over it. This is really awesome. iFish Pro tip up. If you don't have one, you better get one. And then now it's legal to use automatic hook setting devices. Well, I don't know. I've never used one here. I know everywhere else but here it was legal, but now it's legal here. It took a while. It took a minute to get it here, but what a great thing to add to it. So that's something that I'm going to look at this winter and play with. But for now, iFish Pro, and then minnows or waxies for crappie. We just use pieces.
Yeah, I'm a waxies guy, or a minnow head.
I use a minnow head if I'm on upper red, and I've been on those big crappie swarms, and I fished when no one knew they were there. They were still there. Now there's people chasing them like crazy. A minnow head or nothing. When they're biting up at red, you don't need anything on there, but just put a minnow head, a big bloody piece of meat on there, and they just slam it. For crappies, 8th to 30 seconds is all you need in our neck of the woods. There are places where crappies are tough, and so you want micro stuff. You don't need millimeters and micro in northern Minnesota or Wisconsin or Dakotas. You just need basically 32nd to 8th, and if it gets tougher than that, we just go to another lake. But because there's thousands of them. But anyway, for walleyes, 8th and a quarter, basically 16th. We don't really, 3/8 if you're fishing deep water, but primarily we're fishing walleyes from 6 to 28 feet. If you're fishing a deep hump, and I've seen walleyes come out of super deep water, 50, 60, 70, 80 in different lakes where they're driven into the deep basin. Maybe then you could go to a bigger spoon, but a quarter will get down there. You just got to let it sink. And great questions. So if you had a place you've never been but would love to fish at least once in your life, I'll let you start with that one. On the ice, of course, ice centric.
Where do I want to go that I've never been?
It's only an hour long show.
I know. That's tough. You can't ask a guy that question. It's not fair. Let me get back to you on that. What's yours?
Well, it doesn't freeze, so I can't use the one I first thought of. But I guess I don't really have anything other than I probably want to fish for walleyes. Gonna sail maybe through the ice sometime, and that's one of those things. And I have ice fished up at in Winnipeg and all that stuff. I used to do tournaments up there, and it's just amazing up there. It's so far to go. But anyway, so I want to thank everybody. Before we do the giveaway, I want to thank Chesterburg Toyota for being an on-air sponsor. Chesterburg Toyota, state-of-the-art showroom, Toyota, and they have other used cars, repair shop, and all kinds of different stuff. Brand new state-of-the-art facility. Stop in and say hi to Brian and the gang. And when you're heading to Red, Lake of the Woods, Timberline Sports in Black Duck. Timberline Sports is a place where you could come in and buy a rod, reel, tackle, bait, line that they could spool it there. You could buy an Humminbird Explorer. You can get carrying. You can get probably not this one yet, but I'm sure you'll be able to get fish armor stuff there and guns,
A razor auger.
and you can get a razor auger. You can get fish monkey, pizza, and bait all in one place. So it's kind of a culture thing. Stop in to say hi to Carl and John and the gang on your way, and then also I want to thank you for being on, Nick, and of course it was fantastic. And Ryan Klein from JR's Corners there, and he's up at Red Lake. Take 23 to the left before you get to the town, and then Brooke Trace, a producer, Heather for creative marketing, and of course now we're getting down to the brass tacks. We got to announce a winner, and can you see what that? I'm going to let you announce it, Nick. This is for the whole pile here.
Don DeRose. Looks like the big winner tonight is Don DeRose. So congratulations, Don.
Hey,
expect to receive some mail, a care package.
Yeah. So congratulations. Make sure you send us your address because we don't have it. So send us your address. Congratulations. I hope you have a nice big tackle box for that Northland giveaway. And Charlie and Chase Peterson for putting it together. So everybody have a good night. And don't forget, if you're going to the St. Paul Ice Show, say hi to Nick and come see me. I'm going to be at Northland booth, his booth, and around Fish Armor and kind of social butterfly on there. If you don't see me, keep looking. You'll find me. St. Paul Ice Show, everybody be safe on the ice. And if the ice is thin, don't go. If the ice is thin, don't post it or podcast it. If it's 4 inches, like the DNR says, then you can podcast it. But everybody be safe. We don't need statistics.
Thank you, everybody. Look forward to seeing you.